Now, honorable senators, at the adjournment of the sitting at 1, the governor was still presenting her case, and we had to stand down a witness to allow us to go for a lunch break. We will therefore proceed from where we left it. Counsel for Governor, you may recall your witness. Clerk, proceed to call the order, please.
Order number 1, communication from the chair. Order number 2, hearing and determination on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the governor of Meru County.
So, Counsel, before you start, just to remind you that you have 1 hour 55 minutes to conclude the presentation of the governor's case. You may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, may I remind the witnesses that is still under oath through the chair.
Thank you. I'm aware I'm still under oath.
Thank you.
Can I continue?
Mr. Munene, may we proceed from where we had stopped, but we'll be moving to the second issue. The motion for impeachment before the Senate, the second issue accused of the governor is failing to appoint chairpersons of the Meru County Revenue Board, Meru Microfinance Corporation, Meru Youth Service Board, and Meru County Investment and Development Corporation Board. What's your response to that, Mr. Munene?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. The governor has been accusing of failing to appoint the chairpersons of the Meru County Revenue Board, Meru Microfinance Corporation, Meru Youth Service Board, and Meru County Investment and Development Corporations as required by the law. I wish to state that by virtue of the information that has come within me, that's an allegation that is not true. The County Secretary, by a letter dated 18th June 2023, forwarded to the County Assembly the name of Japhet Dumba Idinji as a nominee chairperson of the Meru County Revenue Board. The process of appointment of these chairpersons starts by the governor forwarding the list of nominees to the Assembly for approval. And it is only once the Assembly has approved.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm sorry for intervention, but I would seek your guidance that the witness directs us to the place where that evidence is for, so that we are able to follow. Most obliged.
Thank you. I was getting there, Mr. Speaker.
No, get there first.
Thank you.
Because as you explained, we need to be on that page. So start with the page containing that document, so that when all the senators are there and other parties are there, you can now proceed to explain yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is on page 53 of the Governor's Board of Documents, Volume 1B, page 53. There's a letter there dated 18th June 2023, received by the Office of the Clerk at the County Assembly on 21st June 2023. And the Governor and the Executive Member in charge of Finance, pursuant to Section 6 of the Meru County Revenue Board Act, is forwarding the list of nominees for the chairperson and 2 members of the County Revenue Board. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, page 57 of the same bundle of documents, it's a letter dated 21st June 2023, received in the office of the clerk of the County Assembly of Meru on the same date. It is forwarding the list of the chairperson and 2 members for approval by the County Assembly, forwarding the list specifically the name of Harriet Karamana Gitonga Kadhata as the chairperson of Meru County Investment and Development Corporation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, page 58 of the same bundle of documents is a letter dated 21st June 2023, forwarding the list of chairperson and members, nominee members, for approval by the County Assembly pursuant to Section 6 of the Meru County Youth Service Act. That letter has been received on 21st June 2023, and of importance is that the name of Kimathi Mutembei Dennis is the chairperson that is being, the governor is seeking approval so that she can appoint. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, after this letter, the County Assembly drew a letter dated 21st July 2023. The clerk of the County Assembly wrote to the County Secretary. That is in page 60, volume 1B, a letter that is in page 60, volume 1B, whereby the clerk of the County Assembly is saying that my office is unable to recommend the list, for their consideration to be transmitted to the County Assembly for action, largely because they observe that there are some missing information regarding the status of offices, as some of the offices sought to be filled and substantive office orders. And by a similar letter that appears on page 61 of volume 1B, the clerk of the County Assembly is seeking, it's a reminder letter, followed by the letter that was received on 21st July 2023. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in response to that letter, the County Secretary and End of Public Service wrote a letter dated 18th September 2023. It appears on page 54 of volume 1B of the same bundle of documents. And in this letter, saying that it indicates that reference is made to the above subject matter, and your letter dated 31st August 2023. The nominees of the County Revenue Board are made in anticipation of their lapse of term on 14th December 2023. All the other offices fell vacant by way of natural attrition. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on page 55 is another letter from the County Secretary directed to the Clerk of the County Assembly, which is a polite reminder. It has been received the same date, it's dated 11th January 2024. On 21st March, page 56, volume 1B. On 21st March 2024, the County Secretary still wrote another reminder to the Clerk of the County Assembly of Meru, and subsequently, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, by a letter dated 15th July 2024, it's in the County Assembly's bundle of documents. Volume 1. Just put them up. This one.
As you check on that, Mr. Munene, is that a demonstration of compliance from High Excellency the Governor?
It is a demonstration of compliance, and of importance is that the letter, the dated 31st August, that is on page 61, which appears on volume 1B of the Governor's bundle of documents, the clerk of the county assembly is indicating that they have learned, indicating that the county assembly, county government, this is to kindly make a follow-up on the requested information to facilitate the commit of the 400 names to the various semi-autonomous bonds of the county government of Meru to the relevant committee of the county assembly for vetting and consideration, excluding the nominees of the Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Bond, whose nomination has been since committed to the relevant committee of the county assembly for vetting and consideration. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, despite the clerk of the county assembly confirming that the list for the Meru County Alcoholic Drinks Control Bond and been laid to the relevant committee by 31st August 2023. To date, that vetting is yet to be concluded. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, volume 2 of the County Assembly documents, page 60, is the letter I was referring to, dated 15th July 2024. And in this letter, dated 15th July 2024, the county secretary is indicating that is making a follow-up of those, the position of the nominees, whether they have been approved or not, and indicates that to date, the county assembly has deliberately failed to approve or communicate its rejection of the nominees to the county executive despite constant reminders. Despite constant reminders. This is a letter dated 15th July 2024. And my emphasis, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on that statement, despite constant reminders, is because I'm aware that yesterday the clerk of the county assembly appeared before this honorable house and indicated that the letters, the 3 letters that I have mentioned, that is the letter dated, the letter appearing on the letter appearing on page 54, 55, and 56 of the governor's bundle of documents, that they are disputed. Those letters are disputed. The clerk of the county assembly indicated they have never received any letter for a reminder.
Thank you. I think that point has been exhausted. Let's proceed to the next issue. The next accusation is that the governor has refused to implement resolutions of the assembly to dismiss the county secretary, Dr. Kiambi Tambura, and the chief of staff, Mr. Gatobu Nchamba. What's your answer to that, Mr. Munene?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. The governor has been accused of refusing to implement the resolution of the county assembly requiring the dismissal of the county secretary and the chief of staff. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm aware of the information that, by virtue of the position that I hold, that once a report of a committee of the county assembly has been discussed, that report has to be tabled. Once a report has been prepared of a petition, the report has to be tabled in the county assembly, and resolutions pursuant to that report made. Thereafter, the resolutions and the answers for that sitting adopting the report is supposed to be forwarded to the executive or to the governor to implement the resolution. I can confirm that the document that the county assembly seeks to rely on do not include a resolution, they do not include any answer showing whether the report that for the joint committee was adopted by the assembly or not. So to that end, there is no resolution to accuse the governor of not implementing.
Thank you, Mr. Mnene. Quickly, as a practitioner of law, does the county assembly have mandate to dismiss a county secretary and chief of staff as officers in the office of the governor?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm not aware of a provision in law that mandates the county assembly to dismiss the county secretary or the chief of staff. To the best of my knowledge, in reference to a decision of Kilifi High Court in Owen by the Kilifi County government, the former county secretary of Kilifi County, the decision of that case indicates that the county assembly can only move a censure motion against the county secretary. The provision of the law, section 44 of the county government, talks of removal of the governor, the removal of the county secretary by the governor. That the governor may remove the county secretary in pursuant, subject to the terms and conditions of the contract of service.
Thank you, Mr. Mnene. The next question will be, the governor has been accused of illegally dismissing Dr. Ntoiti, CEO of County Revenue Board, Paul Mwaki, CEO Liquor Board, Kenneth Kimathi Mbaye, Managing Director, Meru Microfinance Corporation, and Josephine Kithure, CEO, MEWAS, in usurpation of the powers of the appointing authorities. What's your answer to that, Mr. Mnene?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. First, to note that this is a ground or particulars that were presented before the previous impeachment motion, in which I appeared as a witness before this Honorable Senate, and I can confirm that this was one of the grounds. And the allegation that has been made is not true. The governor did not dismiss Dr. Ntoiti, Paul Mwaki, Kenneth Mbaye, and Joseph Kithure, but Dr. Ntoiti resigned. Paul Mwaki served his term, which his contract ended on, I believe, 15th December 2023. Kenneth Mbaye left, actually abandoned. In that matter, the decision that they are seeking to rely on, you realize that Kenneth Mbaye did not return back to work after the court quashed the county secretary, the former county secretary's letter sending Kenneth Mbaye on compulsory leave. He did not resume his work, so he abandoned work. And Joseph Kithure served his term to conclusion, until it was terminated by lapse of time. So, and also the allegation that the county government of Meru has been slapped with the 4 million in that decision. It is not true. It is not a correct observation. The county government, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, is not a party to that employment and labor relations dispute. And in the same decision, in the same order, the general damages that were granted of cumulative general damages of 1 million.
Perhaps very quickly, Mr. Mnene, if you could refer the House to the specific documents they wish to rely on.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, page 68 of the bundle of documents, volume 1B of the governor's bundle of documents, It's a request for confirmation on employment of Dr. John Toiti, made by the County Secretary to the Nairobi County Secretary, Nairobi County. And on page 69 is a resignation of Dr. John Toiti, dated 14th November 2023. Page 70 of that bundle of documents is a letter from Nairobi City County confirming that confirming the employment status of Dr. John Toiti, that Dr. John Toiti is an employee of Nairobi City County. Page 71 of volume 1B of the bundle of documents, it is a notice of appeal indicating that the parties, the respondent, they disagreed with the decision of the court, and they have preferred an appeal against that decision.
Mr. Minister, I think that is sufficient. I'll move to the final issue. The governor has been accused of having a bloated workforce in his office. What's the response to that, Mr. Munene?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I confirm that there is such an allegation of bloated workforce, and that allegation, there was a similar allegation in the previous motion in which I also appeared as a witness, whereby the governor is accused of having a bloated workforce. There are documents on the contrary to indicate that the governor has been categorical on the issue of controlling the wage bill in the county. That is by minimizing any hiring or replacements. Through the assistance of my advocate, I want to get to that page. This is employment. Page 170 of volume 1B, bundle of documents. This is a letter from the secretary. It's an internal memo from the secretary, County Public Service Board, to the Chief of Staff. It is dated 17th October 2023. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it's of importance to note that at 17th October 2023, it is the same week that the second impeachment motion was drafted and debated at the County Assembly. This was an allegation that, the document that they sought to rely on, they relied on those documents then, and they're still the same document that they're relying on. In this letter, dated 5th October 2023, on page 170, the County Public Service Board, the Secretary of the County Public Service Board is communicating to the Chief of Staff that we would like to inform you that we have exhausted the available vacancies in the office of the governor as per the Transition Authority Circular of 6th September 2013. We have concluded on the recruitment process for staff in the governor's office. Attached, please find the list of the officers who have been so far employed in the office of the governor. And, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that list has 29 employees, 19 directly under the governor's office, and 10 under the deputy governor's office. Surprisingly, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, by a letter dated 6th October 2023, that is the following day, the first letter is dated 5th October 2023. The second letter comes on it comes on 6th, it's dated 6th October 2023, but delivered on 5th December 2023. That is after the impeachment motion. The first letter is dated, appearing on page 170, is dated 5th October, but was sent to the Chief of Staff on 17th October when it is received. The second letter is dated, appearing on page 175 of the same bundle of documents. It is dated 6th October 2023 and received on 5th December 2023. Page 175, volume 1B of the Governor's Bundle of Documents. This letter, the bond has appointed Gitobu Tunu Gatweri as an administrative officer to replace Ellen Bahati Matilu, who left service. She will be placed in the Deputy Governor's office. This is therefore to give you authority to loan her into the payroll.
What was the response to that?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, by a letter dated 15th December 2023, it's appearing on page 173, volume 1B of this document, the Chief of Staff responds on authority to loan in the payroll and indicates that it has been brought to our attention that by a letter dated 6th October, you have ordered the Chief Officer in charge of Public Service Management to loan a certain Gitobu Tunu Gatweri, whom you have apparently appointed as an administrative officer, employee under the office of the Governor. This is a protest letter, and on page 174, the letter runs to page 174 of specific importance before this honorable assembly and Mr. Speaker, honorable members, is that the Chief of Staff says, be reminded also that solely the Governor has previously and including in the recent impeachment proceedings, both the brunt of allegations of bloated workforce under the office of the Governor, and is not willing to preside over further appointments and overloading of the payroll as suggested by your latest communication. And in the same memo, is saying that be advised that there is an administrative officer at the Deputy Governor's office who was deployed and has been there from 23rd February 2023. So the Governor is resisting any addition.
Thank you, Mr. Menene. I think you have been clear beyond peradventure. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'll close there in chief. You'll wait for questions, Mr. Menene. Okay.
Council for County
the
Assembly.
witness seems to have one more issue to clarify as counsel of
Very well.
Mr.
You may
Speaker,
proceed.
honorable members, there is also an allegation that has been raised on the issue of that the Governor has been accused of abuse office for paying Kiabi Christas Manyara his full salary while still in remand. I'm aware that the County Public Service Bond, pursuant to sections 59(1)(c) of the County Government Act, is the one mandated with the disciplinary powers. The County Public Service Bond, it has the disciplinary powers, and when it comes to the issue of interdiction of an employee, it is the role of the County Public Service Bond to do the interdiction. And on disciplinary powers, at times the County Public Service Bond has delegated its disciplinary powers through some authorized officers. And I'm aware, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that the Governor is not an authorized officer within the meaning of Section 86 of the County Governments Act. So it cannot be said that the Governor has failed to interdict an employee under the public service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Menene.
For the record, Mr. Speaker, my name is Mwangaza. I'll be taking about 10 minutes in cross. Bwana Dixon,
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, yes. Yes, sir.
How are you, Bona Dixon?
I'm fine, thank you.
I refer you to your affidavit at page 24 of your documents, specifically paragraph 3 of your affidavit. You depone the issue of the revocation of the appointment, correct?
Yes.
Do you dispute that Ms. Miriti was appointed?
No, I don't.
Now, you have also deponed that the appointment was not legal, and you have deponed the issue of revocation of the appointment, correct?
Correct.
And it is your evidence that the revocation was pursuant to the legal advice.
Correct.
And you're on record that the legal advice was done both by yourself and the alleged legal advisor.
Correct.
Now, have you brought to this Senate an original copy of that legal advice?
No.
Do you have even a certified copy?
No.
Now, I take you to that legal advice, Bwana Munene. The legal advice is to be found at page 11 of the governor's bundle of documents,
Yes.
volume 1B, honorable members. Now, in that legal advice, legal opinion, Bwana Munene, page 11 of the governor's response, volume 1B, marked as KM5. That legal advice, Bwana Munene, do we have someone signing off as who is the author of that document? At the last page, page 12.
It indicates legal advisor.
Do you have it reflecting the name?
No, it does not reflect the name.
It doesn't reflect the name of either the alleged legal advisor or your own or your own name, does it?
It does not.
Honorable Senators, I want to move with you to the affidavit of one Linda Gaki Kiome that was filed yesterday before the Senate, yesterday afternoon. I hope we all have that affidavit. It's a standalone affidavit that was filed yesterday afternoon by Linda Gaki Kiome. Now, Mr. Munene, do you have that affidavit?
No.
And in that affidavit, there is an annexure.
I don't have the affidavit.
You can supply a copy.
Okay.
Please look at the last annexure that was applied by Linda Gaki Kiome, the notice of intention to terminate your contract. Do you have that copy, Mr. Munene?
Yes, I am there.
Can you read the second sentence, paragraph that starts with the word, the reason for termination?
The reason for termination is due to your perennial unavailability to offer legal advice as and whenever the governor requires you.
The second sentence, the sentence preceding, before that, or after that?
You have also discernigned your obligation as a legal advisor to the governor and instead concentrated on your schedule as a council member of the LSK and also in the running of your law firm.
Now,
which
Mr.
you are
Munene,
sole
stop at that.
proprietor.
So this is an notice of intention to terminate the contract of Linda Gaki Kiome, correct?
Yes,
And the reasons for termination is perennial unavailability and desertion of work, correct?
correct.
And what is the meaning of the word perennial? Is it not annually, perennially?
Many times.
Many
several.
times. When is the date of this letter?
26th March 2024.
26th?
March 2024.
Proceed to the sentence that begins with the word, when the governor.
When the governor raised this concern over the same issue in December 2023, and in an attempt to amicably resolve it, you intimated that due to the exigencies of your schedule, you contemplated resigning.
In December, which year?
2023.
That means that as of December 2023, the governor already had issues with her legal advisor, one Linda Gaki-Kiome, correct?
It indicates so.
Is that not the inference?
That is what it infers.
Now, I take you back to the internal memo, Mr. Sorry, before I take you back to the internal memo, I take you to the date of the internal memo. When is the date of the internal memo?
23rd February 2024.
23rd?
February 2024.
Date coming after the governor having issues with her legal advisor, correct?
Correct.
A date coming after the governor having identified that her legal advisor has perennially deserted work, correct?
Not correct.
Do you want me to take you back to the intention to terminate?
Yes, which is coming on 26th March 2024. That is when the issue of perennial that is coming. Yes, 26th March 2024.
Thank you. Now, the paragraph that says when the governor raised this concern over the same issue, what issue was the governor raising in the month of December 2023 with her legal advisor, Mr. Munene? Is it not the issue of perennial unavailability and desertion of work?
It talks about exigencies of the schedule and contemplating. Yes, it is.
Is it not the issue of perennial unavailability and desertion?
Yes.
As of December 2023?
Yes.
The governor had problems with her legal advisor for being unavailable at work?
Yes.
Yet in 23rd February 2024, the legal advisor is in a capacity to advise the governor. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Now, if we are to look at the veracity and the legality of that opinion, Mr. Munene, which you have admitted that you did indeed give or issue, and as an advocate, what's the legality of that opinion in light of Section 58.5 of the County Government Act? Can I take you there, kindly?
Yes, sure.
Section 58.5 is to be found at our volume 3, the County Assembly Bundle, volume 3. The County Assembly Bundle, volume 3, at page 51. At page 51. Page 50 and page 51, section 58 is about composition of the County Public Service Board. Mr. Munene, can you kindly read section 58.5 of the County Government Act?
I am not there yet, so if you could be assistant with a copy.
Kindly.
Thank you.
Page 51.
Yes.
Can you kindly read?
The members of the board may only be removed from office on grounds set out for the removal of members of a constitutional commission under Article 251(1) of the Constitution, and by a vote of not less than 75% of all members of the County Assembly.
That is the process of removing a member of the board, correct?
Yes, but not an ex-officio member of the board.
Wasn't Ms. Miriti appointed to the board?
She was an ex-officio
Yes
member
or no?
of the board.
Is
No.
she not a secretary?
She's a secretary.
Does this fly on the face?
Sergeant at arms. Sergeant at Arms, is everything okay?
Mr. I hope my time was post, Honorable Speaker. Now, Mr. Munene, it's your evidence that the...
Just hold on, Council.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Munene, it is your evidence that the secretary is an ex-officio member.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Can you kindly look at page 50 of the same volume 3 band of the County Assembly, section 58(1) on the composition of the board? Are you there?
Yes, I am there.
What is the composition of the board?
The County Public Service Board shall comprise a chairperson appointed in accordance with section 58A, at least...
C, specifically C, go to section 58, subsection 1C.
I'm on 58, at least 3 but not more than 5 members appointed in accordance with section 58A, a certified public secretary.
A certified?
Public secretary.
So is a certified public secretary a member of the board?
An ex-officio member.
But a member of the?
An ex-officio member.
Where is the issue of ex-officio on section 58(1)(c)?
Because
constrain yourself to that section. Is a secretary a member of the board? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, in respect of section 58(5), is the procedure depicted under section 58(5) the procedure for removal of the secretary? Correct?
It's for the members of the board.
And the secretary, correct?
Article 251.
No. Mr. Munene, section 58(5), the members of the board may only be removed from office pursuant to section 58(5), correct?
Yes, and Article 251.
Yes or no?
Correct.
Now, in respect to the legal opinion, doesn't that legal opinion that you claim to have given fly on the face of section 58(5) and Article 251? Yes or no?
No.
Now, Mr. Munene, I take you to the question of boards. As paragraph 6 of your affidavit, you've deponed that the letter by the County Secretary dated 18th June 2023 was forwarded to the County Assembly in the name of Japhet Dombi, correct?
Correct.
Were you copied in those letters? Were you copied?
Take me to the letter, I'll confirm whether I was copied or not.
Honorable Senators, the said letters are to be found at volume 1B of the Governor's...
Order, Honorable Senators. There is a lot of loud consultations. Kindly, let's hear the witness in silence.
Volume 1B, the Governor's Bundle, is marked as KM9A at page 53.
Yes, I am not copied in that letter.
That letter dated 18th June, are you copied?
I am not.
How did you become aware?
By virtue of my position as a county executive committee member.
How did you become aware? Were you copied?
I am not copied in the letter.
How did you become aware with the information?
By virtue of my position in the county executive.
Who informed you?
Yeah.
Who informed you?
The county secretary.
Is he testifying in this Senate today?
No.
Now, there was a response that you responded to the various requests by the county assembly, particularly the letter by the clerk seeking clarification on the missing information. That letter is to be found to be found in page 60 of the same bundle, the governor's bundle. It's marked as KM9H.
Yes, I'm there.
Is received 21st July 2023. Is a letter by the office of the clerk. Now, Mr. Munene, I kindly refer you to the last paragraph of that letter.
Yes.
Can you kindly read the last paragraph?
Yes.
Page 60. The Governor's Bundle, Volume 1B.
Kindly also feel free to provide any other additional information regarding the nominations that may facilitate the county assembly to effectively discharge its mandate. We look forward to your response and clarifications.
And the preceding paragraph, we are therefore
kindly asking for more information / clarification regarding the availability / existence of vacancies in the offices within which the nominations are being made in order to facilitate their transmission to the county assembly for consideration. This will enable the county assembly to...
Stop there, Bwana Munene.
Okay.
Did you ever forward a response in terms of providing the necessary information as required by the clerk? Yes or no?
Yes.
Where is the evidence? Kindly take us to the evidence, quickly.
It's on page 54, volume 1B, Governor's Bundle of Documents.
Did you provide the evidence on the further and better particulars as sought in terms of further information?
It is talking / clarifications. It is providing a clarification.
Now, let me take you to our bundle where were you not appointing members of the board to non-existent positions or positions that have already been filled up?
No.
Honorable members, we are referring to page 52 of the County Assembly response. Volume 2, Honorable Senators. Page 52, Volume 2 of the County Assembly documents. It's at page 52, Volume 2 of the County Assembly documents, exhibits. Now, Bwana Munene, can you kindly read out that Gazette notice? Page 52, Honorable Senators.
Should I read from here?
Mr. Munene, very quickly, time is not with us. Can you read out the Gazette notice number?
Gazette notice number 538, the Constitution of Kenya, the county government
Read it. Time, Mr. Munene, can you go to the content of the Gazette notice? It is notified.
Okay. It It is notified for public information that the governor of the county government of Meru has extended the period of appointment of the Meru County Revenue Bond contained in Gazette Notice number 5202 of 2017 for a period of 3 years with effect from the 15th December 2020.
So is that not an extension of the office bearers then,
Yes, it is.
as at 15th December 2020,
As at 6th December 2020. The Gazette Notice
expiring
is dated,
for a period of,
the Gazette Notice is
Mr.
dated 6th December 2020.
is dated
And
15th
it says
November.
that the extension will be with effect with 15th December 2020. To take place
When was the extension to expire? When was it to expire, Mr. Munene?
on 14th December 2023.
14th December 20?
23.
Now, in your letter dated 18th,
September 2023.
in your letter, the letter at the governor's bundle, honorable senators, at page 54. When you read that as against the county, the letter by the county, the office of the clerk at page 60. Mr. Munene, at page 60 of the governor's bundle, Mr. Munene at page 60, we are therefore kindly asking for more information, clarification regarding the availability, existence of vacancies in the office within which the nominations are being made. Is that so?
Which paragraph is that?
Wasn't the clerk asking for information as to which office the members were being nominated to?
Yes, through clarification.
As at 21st July 2023?
Yes.
And that is what you responded by your letter dated 18 September 2023?
Yes.
Did you supply information as to which office that you are nominating those members?
It sought information through clarification.
Did you supply?
Yes, the clarification.
Yes or no?
supplied.
Did you supply? Did you clarify that the office was already having office bearers?
Yes.
Were these office bearers in office on 18 September 2023?
Yes.
To which office were you nominating members?
The nominees of the County Revenue Board are made in anticipation of their lapse of term on 14th December 2023. That is the clarification.
Mr. Speaker, I cede my few minutes to my colleague, Mr. Kawira.
Mr. Munene, the letters appearing on pages 54, 55 to 56. You must be aware that the County Assembly contends that those documents are outright forgeries, correct?
Sorry?
The documents appearing from pages 54 to 56 of the Governor's Volume 1B, you are aware that we contend that those documents are forgeries, correct?
Yes.
And because his allegation was brought out yesterday,
Yes.
and the clerk was here,
Yes.
have you sought the leave of the Speaker or made any attempts to bring the delivery note of these 3 letters that you purport and that you say you are aware they were received by the office of the clerk?
No,
You've not made such an attempt.
we have not made the attempt.
Okay. Is it a coincidence that these 3 letters, and Mr. Speaker, I do not purport to be a forensic examiner or a forensic expert, or a document examiner, rather, but is it a coincidence that these 3 letters that were in different months, in fact in different years, is it a coincidence that the 3 of them were stamped on the same place, different months, different years?
What do you mean by same place?
Just look at the letterhead of those 3 letters.
They are stamped on different pages.
Stamp, yes, but same place, correct?
Not same.
Okay. I'll leave the honorable senators to draw their own conclusion. Mr. Munene, you said that there is a requirement that the County Assembly actually table and adopt a resolution with respect to petitions that are made by members of the public. Is that your position?
Sorry?
Is there a requirement, or what is your position with regard to, was there a requirement, rather, this is the question, was there a requirement that a resolution be passed by the County Assembly for the removal of those officers? That is the Chief of Staff and the County Secretary, pursuant to that public petition. Is there a requirement in law?
The requirement is that the resolution, I mean, the report is tabled to the, back to the county assembly.
No, is there a requirement? Because you say that there's a requirement that a resolution be passed by the county assembly. That there is debate and a resolution passed. Is there such a requirement in law?
The letter makes reference to resolutions of the assembly, not of the committee, of the assembly.
Yes. Let me refer you to that report. That is Honorable Speaker, that is volume 2 of the assembly documents, the exhibits in support of the impeachment motion, at page 140. Page 140 of volume 2 of the county assembly documents. At 5.2, you will see the committee's recommendations. Is that the assembly or the committee's recommendations?
These are the committee's recommendations.
And what is recommendation number 2? That the governor do dismiss the county secretary and the chief of staff, correct?
Yes.
I'll refer you to our volume 4. Our volume 4, Honorable Speaker, the county assembly documents. Volume 4, that is at page 295. Volume 4 of the county assembly documents, that is, those are the standing orders. Are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Page 295 of volume 4 of the county assembly documents. On committee of petitions, I'll read it out and you tell me whether you agree with it. Every petition presented or reported pursuant to this part shall stand committed to the relevant sectorial committee. 2, whenever a petition is committed to a sectorial committee, the committee shall in not more than 60 calendar days from the time of reading the prayer respond to the petitioner by way of a report addressed to the petitioner or petitioners and laid on the table of the assembly, and no debate. And no debate on or in relation to the report shall be allowed, but the speaker may, in exceptional circumstances, allow comments or observations in relation to the report to the petitions for not more than 20 minutes. So, do you still maintain the position that there needed to be a debate and a resolution passed by the county assembly in light of this standing order on the public petition that was passed by the county assembly of
You
Meru?
did not get me clearly. I think that the resolution that you are making reference to of the assembly,
Yes.
you said the resolution of the county assembly,
Yes.
which are in existence. We do not have in the bundle of your documents resolutions of the county assembly adopting that report, and that is that is your allegation.
I'll refer you, Mr. Munene, to page. Volume 2, volume 2 of the county assembly documents. Honorable Speaker, the first paragraph. Kindly read out that first paragraph.
Reference is made to the above mentioned subject matter.
The second paragraph. I'm sorry. The second paragraph.
On Wednesday, 13th December 2023, during the afternoon sitting, the Joint Committee on Labor, Public Service and Social Welfare and the Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion presented and lent their response to petition number 5 of 2023 by way of a report of their findings on the alleged gross violations of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and other statutory laws by various county executive committee members and chief officers within the county government of Meru to the assembly.
Mr. Munene, what is irregular about this communication by the clerk to the petitioners in view of the fact that that report was laid on the floor?
Yeah, the allegation here is on the county secretary and chief of staff. This particular paragraph I have read does not even mention the county secretary or chief of staff. It is talking about county
Fair enough,
executive committee
fair enough.
members.
It is the heading. It is a response to which petition? Petition number 5 of 2023, correct?
Let me read.
It is petition number 5 of 2023, correct, Mr. Munene?
Mine is not clear.
Honorable Speaker, I think the witness is now filibustering. I'll end it at that. I'll leave
No,
the honorable
he
members.
just said his copy is not clear, and therefore he couldn't read it. Just provide him with a clear copy, we conclude this.
Very well. On my copy, it is petition number 5 of 2023. Can you see that?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, petition number 5 of 2023.
Mr. Munene, to the best of your knowledge, is that the petition that was presented by 1611 members of the public?
Sorry?
To the best of your knowledge, Mr. Munene, is that the petition that was presented by 1611 members of the public with respect to all these officers, chief officers, CECMs,
Yes, it is.
and the county secretary as well?
Unless I confirm.
Unless you confirm.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Munene, I'll be very brief with you. Kindly confirm that prior to your admission as an advocate, you underwent a rigorous training in the advocates training program, correct?
I confirm.
And that during that training, you must have interacted with a topic called legal drafting, correct?
Legal drafting?
Trained in legal drafting, correct or not correct?
Correct.
And as such, I refer you to the opinion by the questioned opinion by Advocate Linda. In that drafting, you are taught on how to do legal document, correct or not correct?
Correct.
For example, you are taught on how to draft a letter, yes?
Yes.
And any other legal correspondence, correct?
Yes.
And you are told the characters that must appear on any legal document, yes?
Not all.
You are taught on the characters that must appear on any legal document, yes or no?
Yes.
And as such, in any legal document, there must bear an identification of the person drafting that document, yes?
Yes.
Kindly look at that document.
I am on it.
Does it bear the person drafting it?
Yes.
Look at where the signature is purportedly embossed or placed. Does it bear the person drafting it?
Yes. Legal advisor.
No. What is the name of the person who drafted that document?
The name is not there, but the title is.
That is not there, correct?
Yes.
That is what you are taught in law school, yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me finally ask you one more question. You communicated to the Senate that you also act as a legal advisor, correct?
Sorry?
You said that you advised the governor
Yes.
in conjunction with Linda on how to deal with that issue of the CEO, correct?
Yes.
And that you acted as a legal advisor, correct?
Yes.
What is your job description? What is your job description, Mr. Munene?
To advise the governor.
What is your constitutional job description? Are you a legal advisor or are you a CEC?
I am a CEC.
You are a CEC.
Yes.
Who also doubles up as a legal advisor, correct?
That is part of my.
I'm asking who also doubles up.
Yes.
So you have two job descriptions, correct?
Part of advice.
You have two job descriptions, Mr. Munene.
No.
Kindly look at the TA, Transitional Authority document appearing on volume 3, volume 2, at page that one, the Transitional Authority. Ulikuwa umetoa. Transition Authority, you had it. A moment.
Page 2, it is page 191.
Page 191.
Of volume 2.
Volume 2. Is it that one? See, okay, just get it. But before we go to that, as I look for it, Mr. Munene, you are aware, Mr. Munene?
Yes.
176. Wachana na katiba, haiko hapo.
It's the act.
One. Page 178, Honorable Senators. You are aware that there was a transitional authority that was constituted that was to oversee the transition from the local government to the county government, correct?
I'm aware.
And that during that particular of trying to formulate the county government, they issued a communique dated 16th of September 2013, correct?
Correct.
And that document creates the offices that were to work under the governor's office, yes?
Yes.
And that you, as a CEC, is part of what is contemplated, yes?
No, it is not. CC is in the County Government Act. It's not in the transition.
Honorable Senators, I'm looking at page 108 or 180 of that document. Yes? Volume 2, page 180. Mr. Munene?
Yes, I'm there.
Can you see where there is a provision for the legal advisor?
Yes.
Are you the legal advisor to the governor?
No.
Thank you. No further questions.
The County Assembly, are you done with your cross-examination?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Okay. The Council for Governor, you may re-examine your witness.
Mr. Munene, I'll have a few questions for you, just for clarification.
Thank you.
Council for the Assembly starting point was on the governor's legal advisor.
Yes.
How many advisors does the governor have?
3. We have a political advisor, economic advisor, and legal advisor.
Mr. Munene, are you among the legal advisors?
No.
Thank you. You have been shown the legal advisory through an internal memo that was issued by the legal advisor. To you, is that in contention?
It is not.
As a legal practitioner, was it necessary for the name to be indicated?
Not necessary. It's an internal memo. It's actually it's a legal advice, not a legal opinion, as I read it.
Thank you. Is there an active matter in court between the said Linda Kiome and the Honorable Governor?
There is.
Has that matter been determined yet?
No, it's still active.
Thank you. You are shown an affidavit by Linda Kiome. Do you have that affidavit with you?
Yes, I do.
When was the notice of intention to terminate issued?
It is dated 26th March 2024.
Was there a subsisting relationship as of December 2023, as a matter of fact?
Yes, there was.
Thank you. An insinuation or innuendo was passed that the advisor was unavailable completely. Are you in a position to confirm whether it was sporadic appearance or total shutdown, unavailability?
She was not totally unavailable. She was available, but there was perennial absence that was noted.
Thank you for that clarification.
And the other
That will
thing
be
is
all.
that she was still earning a salary, so she was still an employee of the governor. She earned a salary until the date of the lapse of the notice. She was an employee until 30th April 2024. A legal advisor.
Thank you, Mr. Mnene. That will be all for this witness.
Honorable Senators, for those who wish to seek for clarification or questions or pose questions to the witness, this is the moment. Senator Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have some 2 or 3 questions to you, witness. The first question relates to charge number 1. Is there a difference between revocation and dismissal or removal from office? That is question number 1. Question number 2. Is the Secretary or CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board an ex-officio member, or they are a member they are a voting member of that board? And then finally, is it the practice that I can be a CEO of an institution and at the same time a holder of an office in the same institution? So I have taken leave of absence from being an officer in order to be a CEO in the same organization. Is that part of good governance practice in human resource? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable member. I start with the first question on revocation and dismissal. Those are, in my opinion, and which I believe is the opinion of the law, revocation is different from dismissal. An appointment is made pursuant to certain condition precedents of qualifications. And the moment the appointing authority realizes that those qualifications have not been met, they have that residual right to recall the appointment, which is technically revocation. It is recalling an appointment. Dismissal, it's a dismissal pursuant to Section 41 of the Employment Act. Thank you. The other question on whether the counties, the Secretary of the County Public Service Board is an ex-officio member or a voting member, I confirm that the county secretary, the Secretary of the County Public Service Board does not have a voting right in the County Public Service Board. As such, she is an ex-officio member. And Article 251, Article 1 on their removal indicates, excludes actually ex-officio member. Says that a member other than an ex-officio member may be removed pursuant to that provision. So the Secretary of the County Public Service Board is not immune to provision of Section 58. Lastly, it is not good governance practice for a person to take a position of a CEO and continue to be a public officer in the same institution. The court has rendered its opinion on that severally, and it has indicated that you cannot freeze one position for 6 years take another position, await the 6 years to lapse, and come back and purport to continue in that previous position that you had taken?
Senator Sige.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Munene, I derive my question from the two letters that you took us through in bundle 1B, that is the governor's evidence, appearing at page 170 and 175. The first one letter received on dated 5th of October 2023, received on the 12th of October 2023. And the second, which is of interest to me, is appearing at page 175, dated 6th of October 2023, received on 5th of December 2023. In that second memo, there is a gentleman, Gitobu Tunu, who is appointed to replace one Helen Bahati Matilu. Recall in your earlier letter, you indicated that the workforce within the office of the governor and the deputy governor comprised 29 employees. I can't see the name of Helen Bahati Matilu in that list of 29. Could you confirm that indeed that was the position, or the communication referred to a completely different person not within the employee of the deputy governor's personnel?
You may proceed to respond, witness.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. I confirm that Helen Bahati Matilu is the one that being replaced, and in the letter that that appears at page 173, it's of importance, the last paragraph indicates that whereas no request for appointment of an administrative officer was made from myself as the chief of staff under the governor and deputy governor, be advised that there is an administrative officer at the deputy governor's office who was deployed and has been there from 23rd February 2023. To put this in context is that the Saint Ellen Bahati Matilu, her appointment had been revoked for having not genuine academic certificates. After the revocation, an administrative officer was deployed to that office of the deputy governor. And that is what it is confirming, that from 23rd February 2023, that administrative officer was in that office.
Senator Mogeni.
Yes, when I heard your introductions, you said you are county attorney.
No.
Yeah. Is CCM?
Just put the record straight.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm the CCM in charge of legal affairs, public service management, and administration.
Okay, that's even better for me. So there is an issue that has always caused problems for us. I just wanted to get clarification from you. Issue of public participation. So as a county attorney, I just wanted you to shed some light to us. When you do public participation, do you use your professional staff as a county, or it's in order for MCAs to conduct public participation on their own and prepare minutes? Maybe you could refer to page 355, volume 5, where I think minutes were taken and recorded by MCA. I've seen it in 340. It appears severally in the report that is before us. I wanted your comment. Then number two, I just wanted you to look at the same bundle from page 27 all through to page 70. Okay.
Sorry,
the number of,
can I kindly get the copy?
that is volume 5. I'm sure the lawyers will give you.
Thank you.
Okay. There are a number of photos.
Senator Mogeni, you had not more than 2 minutes. I will, under standing order number 1, give you 1 minute.
Have a look at those photos and just confirm to me whether there is, whether the people who did the public participation are staff of the county assembly or it was done by the public members themselves. Finally, I wanted you to respond to the issue that has been coming from court. Public participation needs to be quantitative, qualitative, and meaningful. If you go to page 463, the people who attended public participation are given as 3. Page 467, 3 people attended. 468, nobody attended. 471, 5 people. 485, 7. 541, 6. So, as an attorney from the county government of Meru, what would be your comment with the documents that we have where the attendance is given as 3, 7 people? Is that the normal practice when you do public participation? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Public participation, ordinarily, when it comes to the impeachment of a governor, is carried out by the staff of the county assembly. Although, under the county government, we have a Directorate of Public Participation and Civic Education, which is at the county executive. So I believe probably because of perceived conflict, that is why the county assembly prefers to carry out public participation using their staff, the county assembly staff. In my opinion, and I believe in the opinion of the law, there has been a decision on public participation. I believe the decision that was legalizing the Finance Act 2023 to majorly dwelled on public participation. It needs to be qualitative, quantitative, and there has to be a report to the parties or to the participants. They need to know what is the outcome of this public participation. Public participation means there are some number of pages in the document that has been computed. You find that there are few participants, 1, 2, 3. Others, like the document that I'm in, page 468, it appears that it has not been recorded as having any participants. I believe it's due to the exigencies of time within which the county assembly has to process an impeachment motion the moment that it has been tabled. They have to carry out public participation within 7 days, and they have also to debate that motion between 7 to 10 days, within 7 to 10 days. So in this particular case, public participation was allegedly carried out during the same day, on one day, in the 45 warrants. And a notice that was given for that participation was I think it was a 4 days notice. So the reason why that why we have a very low turnout, I believe partly is because of the short notice, and partly also because, probably those who decided to abstain did not support the motion.
Senator Chirange.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Witness, in Kanata Dixon Munene, in LSK portal, you have indicated that your workplace is Okubasu and Munene Advocates. Why is it so? And you are CCM of Meru. You are the CCM that has been appointed to serve in Meru, but in your LSK portal you have indicated that you work at Munene and Okubasu Advocates. Can you clarify that for me? Secondly, on the issue of the legal advisor, Yesterday, she contested that the legal advice or the letter that was being purported, being tabled as the memo, she didn't sign. And in her submission, she said that she needed to brief you before briefing the governor as a legal advisor. Number 3, and finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, when you look at the letter by transitional authority, the governor has been given personal staff. In your affidavit, you have indicated that the governor has pushed to reduce the number of staff. But quick assessment in page 171, 1B, volume 1B, governor has 4 drivers, so I presume he has 4 vehicles, and he has 5 support staff who are not indicated. Is this in line with the circular that was issued with transitional authority in your submission? Finally, under the same letter, the all correspondence and communications should be and must be the county secretary. Are you the county secretary of Meru? Are you the CCM? Or are you the legal advisor? Can you clarify? Because you have witnessed in letters that has not even been copied to you as the CCM in charge of legal affairs. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Witness, proceed
Thank you,
to respond.
Mr. Speaker. I start from the portal that appears, indicates that I practice in the firm of Kubaso and Monene Advocates. That was my former workplace before I joined the county executive. I need to follow up with the LSK to make the changes. I note that they have not been made there. 2, on the issue of, sorry, I seem to have lost the trail of that.
You didn't get the question?
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I didn't get the other questions.
Can you give him a full scope and a pen so that we don't go back to it? Senator Chirange, just pose it again.
Mine, Mr. Speaker, quickly, under page 171, volume 1B, the letter that has been part of the evidence, in the breakdown of governor's personal staff, there are 4 drivers, so I presume there are 4 vehicles, and there are 5 staff that their job description has not been indicated. So the question should be, in your affidavit, you have indicated the governor is trying to bring down the wage bill. And finally, the final question was, under the same letter by the transitional authority, all communications and correspondence should be and must be through the county secretary. So my question is, are you CCM in CCM? Are you county secretary or are you legal advisor? Who are you in Meru? It looks like you are the king of Meru and we don't know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is indeed page 171, volume 1B of the governor's documents. It indicates that the governor has 4 designated drivers. I believe the governor has 3 vehicles. There has to be a reliever. There is also the issue of the support staff. That is as per the transitional authority advisory, where it talks of support, a few support staff. On the issue as to whether I am the CCM, the county secretary of the King of Meru County, I confirm that I am the CCM. I'm not a county secretary. There is a county secretary by the name Dr. Kiambi Aderu.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just needed clarity on the charge of illegally dismissing Dr. Ntoire. I think you're aware of that case. That also includes Paul Mwaniki, Kenneth Kinuthi Mbaye, and Joseph Kithure. Right. I wanted to ask you, could you confirm to this House if indeed these officers were dismissed by the governor? And if so, what procedure did she use to dismiss them? If she's the one who did the dismissals, or was legal procedure followed? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I can confirm that the officers were not dismissed by the governor. They was, the gravamen of that dispute was that they were sent on compulsory leave by the county secretary, the former county secretary. They disputed that letter sending them on compulsory leave. They went to court. The court stayed the decision to send them on compulsory leave. They came back, served their term. Some of them resigned, like Dr. Ntoite resigned after the court stayed the decision sending them on compulsory leave. Another one did not resume. The other two served their term, the contract term, until it lapsed. So there is no instance or incidence or of dismissal. They were never dismissed.
Senator Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In regards to the letter by the legal counsel, Madam Linda, she was here yesterday. She really did indicate that, according to her, in short, this letter is just fake. And in her qualifications, she cannot actually put the composition of the wordings. I listened to you, and you also, at some point, really acknowledged that the standard of this letter is not to a level of a qualified legal person. At this point, are you on the same page with Madam Linda that truly this letter looks or it is fake? And secondly, there has been issues in some of the positions, case example, the chair positions in different boards, that there are no appointees. In your acts, it is key and mandatory to have chairpersons who form the composition of any committee. What was your legal advice to the governor as far as, case example, the County Revenue Board, which up to date does not have a chairperson? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Member. The letter by the legal advisor, let me make this categorical. I did not indicate that that letter is fake. As to the advice that is given there, I do not see any mediocrity or mediocre in the legal advice that is given there. This is an advice that was being given to a governor who does not have the background of legal knowledge. So it is a simplistic letter that is meant for the consumption of the governor. On composition of the appointment of the County Revenue Board chairperson, the advice that I gave the governor is that the law requires, Section 6 of the County Revenue Board Act requires that the governor should appoint the chairperson, who is supposed to be, through the approval, upon the approval of the county assembly, and two other members. The same act indicates that in the absence of the chairperson, one of the members or the vice chairperson will take over the role of the chairperson. Indeed, the governor forwarded 3 names to the county assembly for approval. That is the chairperson and the 2 members. When this delayed, the delay in the approval persisted, and the 2 members that had been, the 3 members, that is the chairperson and 2 other members, served their term up to 14th December when it lapsed, I advised the governor, since the law does not strictly require the approval of these 2 members by the county assembly, my advice to the governor that she can proceed and appoint the 2 members and leave the position of the chairperson vacant until it has been approved by the assembly. And these 2 members, together with the CEO and the chief officer finance, would constitute the revenue board. And that way the bond would be able to run without any issues.
Thank you. Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've followed submissions by Munene and the other witnesses. There is a very simple way of settling this conflict on this legal advice. Mr. Speaker, I would want the witness to tell the House or submit to the House who has custody of the original copy of the legal advice.
Witness, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We can endeavor to get that a copy of the original copy, indeed from the office of the governor. I believe it is this private secretary.
Mr. Munene, you know we have to conclude this hearing by today. And you knew that that particular legal advice was there was a lot of contention that was surrounding this particular piece of legal advice. In the morning, the County Assembly Council, in fact, made an application that the original copy be produced. And I ruled that that will be handled when the team of the governor will get to the space where they will want to rely on that particular legal advice. If that legal advice is still your evidence, then before we close, it must be looked at by the honorable senator so that we conclude this debate as to whether it is fake or is not fake.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I believe that the legal team for the governor's hand.
Because in the absence of the original copy, each side will basically settle for their own opinion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senator Wambo.
Mr. Speaker, I do not want to guide you on this, but I would request that you give that as a directive, that at a point that is appointed by you, that advice then should be made available to us so that it helps us to make a decision. I think.
I will not direct the team of the governor on how best to present their case. If you feel withholding the original makes your case stronger, then so be it. If you feel by producing the original makes your case stronger, then so be it. It's really within your powers.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm humbly guided by your directions and the discretion for the defense team to avail or not to avail. But I was making a humble request that in the event the same is availed, that you grant the County Assembly an opportunity to recall that particular witnesses for purpose of identification of that document. I am most humbled.
Very well. Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, I am asking the witness this question again. The witness, Linda, explained very clearly to the House that she was requested or directed by the governor to work with you. Now, from my understanding, and that's why I'm seeking your clarification, working with you, working with the minister in that department means that she was working under you, technically. So, can you clarify to us whether this legal advice, when it was being written, was it cleared by you? Were you aware of it before it left the department to go to the governor? Just clear for us, because then it might help us to know the authenticity of this letter. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. I was aware of this legal advice when it was sent to the governor. We discussed about this issue. Indeed, we used to work together as a team. We used to discuss issues together, especially on legal issues. We used to consult with the legal advisor severally. Most of the time, it would be when there's a legal issue that needs to be addressed, we won't work together. And I can confirm that when this legal advice was dispatched to the governor, I was aware.
Now, honorable senators, due to the time factor, we will terminate this witness at that. And the team of the governor, do you still have more witnesses you want to call? You may now proceed to call them. Call the next witness.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Our next witness is Evans Mawera.
Clerk, how many minutes do we have for the team of the governor so that they can prepare themselves accordingly on how to manage that time? So the governor's team, you have 1 hour, 25 minutes, not just for this witness, but for all the remaining witnesses. And the county assembly, you have 32 minutes to do your cross-examination on the remaining witnesses. Yes, Senator Fonandi.
Mr. Speaker, just your indulgence and guidance, when just under 1 minute, when CPA Ibrahim Mutwiri Kirimi, who was the CCM of Finance, appeared, I asked a clarification question on his standing at the ISPAC, where the membership number was 10955 and membership status is active and status is not in good standing. But in his submission, Mr. Speaker, mark you under Oaths and Statutory Declaration ACAP 15, Mr. Speaker, under Section 11, when you don't follow the oath that you have given, the law is punishable at that. Mr. Speaker, I have gone ahead and obtained from the ISPAC website, and I want to table to the House and for the information to indicate that CPA Kirimi Ibrahim W. Mutwiri was not honest by saying that is in good standing, yet from the ISPAC itself, it says not in good standing. Mr. Speaker, I beg to table and maybe...
Senator Fernandez, I'm afraid I may not allow you to table that document unless you get it certified by ISPAC.
Okay.
You have just sought clarification from the witness who just been stood down. And from the website, it still indicates that he's an associate or a partner in a law firm, whereas indicated that he left a while ago, but it's only that the information had not been updated. So unless we get a certified copy of a document from ISPAC indicating that particular information, I'm afraid I will not allow you to table that document. You know what to do, so you don't need to seek my permission. Yeah. Yes.
You know, Mr. Speaker, these are quasi-judicial proceedings. This is a professional. He's being condemned without being given a chance to say his side of the story. This document would have been introduced and given to the witness when he was on the witness box. But I think if we now produce it, table it, it becomes a public document without his side of the story, we would have condemned him and had, Mr. Speaker.
Well, if it was satisfied, if it was certified, I wouldn't mind recalling the witness so that he has a chance to also explain his side. But downloading from the website isn't good enough. Counsel, you may proceed with your witness.
I, Evans Moira Karia, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Confirm your full names and the position you hold within Meru County.
As I've stated, my name is Kawira. I do represent a ward called Mitungu Ward, that is in South Imenti, Meru County. I'm also a second-term serving MCA, and I was formerly the immediate former majority leader of the County Assembly of Meru, of the UDA party in the Assembly, and I was also the mover of the last impeachment motion that was prosecuted in this Honorable Senate, and it was deemed that all the counts were unsubstantiated.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. You have sworn an affidavit that you have produced before the Senate. Confirm that it's the one appearing at page 36 of volume 1 of the governor's response. Confirm that that is your affidavit.
I do confirm.
You do confirm. Attached to your affidavit is also authority to swear, where several members of the County Assembly of Meru have given you authority to plead and swear this affidavit on their behalf. Can you confirm that?
I do confirm that 17 members have given me the authority to plead on their behalf.
Honorable Senators, that document appears on the last page, just after page 50. It is not paginated, but it should be page 51. Just after 50, there is authority to swear that has been attached to the affidavit. Confirm that you have the authority of all these members of County Assembly to stand here and offer evidence on their behalf, and if that is the case, why do you have that authority?
I do confirm that members who have appended their signature have given me the authority, and this is because it's a large number that they couldn't all appear here in the Honorable Senate to testify or be witnesses.
Thank you so much. You have also alluded to the fact that you were the mover of the previous motion for impeachment against the governor of Meru. Confirm that that is the motion that has been attached to volume 2 of the governor's response.
I do confirm.
You do confirm?
Yes.
We sat here yesterday, Mr. Witness, and we watched the mover of the current motion, one Zipporah Kenya. Do you know of her relationship with the previous motion for impeachment? And what kind of relationship is there?
Yes, I know one Honorable Zipporah Kenya, the mover of the present motion, very well. And she played a key role in drafting the previous motion and collecting evidence. And also, she sat down in the small team that finally came up with the motion that was brought in the previous impeachment motion in the Senate. And also, Zipporah Kenya, Honorable Zipporah Kenya, took the position of the deputy majority leader due to the fact that once I decided to support the governor, I was removed from that position.
We are heading there, Mr. Witness. For now, confirm that indeed you took the motion for impeachment last year from the current mover of the motion, that it was indeed a motion, but you took that motion from her. Is that the position?
I didn't take the motion from her, but once the small team sat down, it was decided that the motion has to be moved by the leader of the majority party then, and that's when it became my motion.
So it is your evidence then that the instructions to move the impeachment motion last year was a party position?
Yes, I do prove, I do state that.
And by party position, what party are you referring to and at what level?
The UDA party, the leadership at the county level. Since before we moved that motion, the then Secretary General of the UDA party had called me and told me that clearly that should not be prosecuted as the position of the UDA party, but the leadership at the county level insisted that it was a party affair. That is the UDA party affair at the county level.
The governor was here last year and she's here again this year. And her defense has always been that she's being targeted by the political leadership of Meru. Having participated in the impeachment process last year and now participating in this process again, but on her side, would you care to shed light on whether you are aware of any political influence from the political leadership of Meru, and if so, what kind of influence is there?
That is the position, and maybe, Honorable Speaker, I can give a little narration of how we came up with the second impeachment motion. After political leaders in Meru felt that the governor had gone rogue, members of the county assembly were mobilized upon party lines, and the first party to do that was the UDA party, where personally I was called by the UDA county coordinator then, and he called me for a meeting. And in that meeting that I attended with the majority whip of the UDA party in the assembly, we met with the chair of MP's caucus, one Honorable Ndikiri, who is also a UDA member, and also Honorable Kaduri Moronge, who is the Senator of Meru. And we made a decision that we have to communicate to other UDA members that it is the position of the party at that moment that we have to withdraw all the support for the governor within and without the assembly, and that we were to introduce a new impeachment motion that we call UDA party members or members of the county assembly belonging to the UDA party, and we communicated the same and issued a press conference to that effect. Other parties followed suit, that is Jubilee Party, No-PEO Party, BAS Party, DP. So all the assembly parties issued the same directive that members were to support the impeachment of the governor that we brought to the Senate in the last impeachment motion.
Thank you. Kindly give us the composition of party membership within the Meru County Assembly. How many members are there from each of the political parties?
The Meru County Assembly is comprised of 69 members, that is 45 elected members and 24 nominated members, where the largest party is the UDA party, but with a small margin of the majority, that is 21 members. The next party with or the minority party is the BAS party, which has got 20 members. Then we have Jubilee, which has got 11 members. We have PNU, we have No-PEO, we have DP, and also we have independents.
So is it your testimony that all these political parties were united in the quest to remove the governor of Meru?
That is true.
And we also watched the move of the current motion on TV, saying that it is the business of the Meru County Assembly to impeach the governor. And I was quick to translate the use of the word business into the Swahili language, biashara, connoting that there was monetary benefit by people who participate in the impeachment of the governor. Are you aware of any monetary incentives by people who either support the impeachment motion or any reprimand for any person that does not support the impeachment motion?
Yes, it is true that members of the assembly do benefit financially during these impeachment processes. And because I'm on oath, I can only state that it was during the first impeachment motion that was defeated in this Honorable Senate that there was no inducement. The second one, there was a lot of inducement. And even this one, I believe there's a lot of inducement. And those who have not been in support of the impeachment motion have severely suffered on the hands of the assembly.
Let us talk about the incentives that you're talking about. What nature are those incentives and where do they come from?
For example, right now when we are here in this, during these proceedings, members have been facilitated for more than 5 days to be in Nairobi, where they draw per diems and DSAs. And also, I'm aware that during this process, members were also put into a common area where they were held.
Before you proceed there, Honorable Zipporah was here yesterday, and I posed that question to her, and she denied categorically that any of the MCAs within Meru is earning allowances for this process. Are you saying that she lied, that you have yourself received these allowances during the last impeachment, and you received the same for this impeachment?
Yes, because we were facilitated by the Assembly to be in Nairobi for around five days, where we received DSAs and per diems.
How much do you receive as members of County Assembly whenever you appear at the Senate for the impeachment?
According to the directions or guidance by the SRC, whenever members are out in a county headquarters, they draw 14,000, which is the DSA for all county headquarters. So even here in Nairobi, they draw 14,000. Then they also facilitated or given transport back to and fro from Meru.
Does the County Assembly facilitate all the 69 members of County Assembly?
Not always, unless there's a common cause. That's when maybe they can.
I'm asking for the impeachment processes that you are aware of, the second and third, last November and this one. Does the County Assembly facilitate all the members of the County Assembly?
The second impeachment motion, all members, only members who are in support of the impeachment motion were the ones who are facilitated. For this one, they sent out messages to everybody indicating that we should be in Nairobi for the Senate proceedings for about 5 days.
My understanding of the workings of the County Assembly is that you are only entitled to allowances if you are out on official duties and for a very specific purpose. Under what vote do you get these allowances?
Sorry?
Under what vote do you get these allowances?
Under what?
Under what vote? Under what?
Domestic travel. Domestic travel. It's actually domestic travel and accommodation.
For all the members of County Assembly?
Yes.
I want to refer you to page 382, volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents. Tell us the amount of expenses under domestic travels. 382 of volume 2 of the County Assembly. Are you at page 382 of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents?
Yes, I'm there.
How much is amount indicated as having been utilized under domestic travels? Have you identified that? Perhaps we can move, as we look for it, at page 272 of volume 1B. Tell us what was the Auditor General's comment on the county government's, County Assembly's expense. Page 272, volume 1B. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
As the Auditor General flagged impeachment as a project of the county?
It is flagged as an activity of the County Assembly of Meru. Motions for the impeachment of the governor, Meru County, 2 motions for the 2 impeachment attempts.
Would the Auditor General flag a project if it had no monetary implication to the taxpayer?
No, because it should marry the financial statement, so it indicates that there was some monetary implication in that activity.
Have you now found page 382, volume 2 of the County Assembly? tell us the expenses involved within the Meru County Assembly?
The County Assembly spent that 5.50 million on committee sitting allowances for the 68 MCAs against an annual budget allocation of 71.36. The average monthly sitting allowance was 57 or 63, and the County Assembly has established 27 committees.
Thank you. As I move to the next issue, confirm that each MCA that was in support of the motion last year walked away with at least 80,000 as facilitation from taxpayer, and that they are likely to walk away with the same amount this year.
That one I confirm because the DSA's paid was for 5 days and the transport allowance of 10,000.
So if you were to look at the 49 MCAs that are in support of this motion, times 80, that would be around 4 million Kenya shillings?
Yes, on average.
Thank you. Let us proceed to the next issue. Well, we were in Senate last year, in November. You lost the impeachment motion, correct?
Yes, all the counts were not substantiated.
They were not substantiated. Tell us what transpired immediately when you lost the motion. Were there any reconciliatory efforts from your side? And by your side, I mean the members of the County Assembly that were in support of the impeachment motion. Were there any efforts to reconcile with the governor and have a working relationship with her?
There were none, and immediately we lost the impeachment motion. The following day, we met in a hotel in Nairobi, where all the 59 members and the Speaker of the Assembly were in support of the impeachment motion, together with the Deputy Governor and Honorable Mporo Abori came together. And in that meeting, it was deliberated that members should be taken for a retreat to freshen up and maybe relax.
Do you recall the name of the hotel where you attended and you had this meeting?
Yes, Sunstar Hotel in Nairobi.
Sunstar Hotel in Nairobi?
Yes.
You confirm that that meeting took place the following day after you lost the impeachment motion?
That is true.
What were the resolutions of that meeting?
I was just stating that it was agreed that the Assembly facilitates members for a retreat, for members to go and relax and freshen up maybe after the vigorous impeachment process that they taken. And then immediately after that...
The retreat was in addition to the 80,000 that each of you had pocketed?
No, it was a new retreat that members...
I'm saying it was in addition to what you had
Yes,
already
in addition
pocketed.
to. In addition to.
Okay, proceed.
So we agreed that we'll be facilitated for a whole week, and we went to Mombasa for a whole week where we were facilitated along committee lines. Therefore, members who had been de-whipped earlier from committees were not participants, and we did committee work for 2 days. And for the rest of the days, we sat down to organize and plan on how to sabotage the government so that it doesn't work. And that is when the time it was agreed that a petition be introduced in the County Assembly to try and impeach.
Mr. Kawira, you are using very strong terms here. Is it your evidence that members of the County Assembly at taxpayers' expense went to Mombasa and planned on how to sabotage the governor? And you're saying that on oath?
That is my evidence, and I want to say to this Honorable Senate, that is when it was agreed that a petition be introduced in the Assembly, petitioning or praying that all CCs for the county government of Meru, chief officers, the county secretary, and chief of staff be impeached so that the government can be sabotaged and does not function, because we have already lost the impeachment motion.
What petition is that you're talking about, and was that resolution ever acted upon, to the best of your knowledge?
It was acted upon because immediately we went back to Meru. A petition was brought to the Assembly, praying for or requesting that the County Assembly conducts an investigation on around 7 CECs I think 3 chief officers and the county secretary and the chief of staff, that culminated to a report of the Joint Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs recommending the impeachment of or the removal from office of the county secretary and the chief of staff, and also give members of the assembly freedom, or they were at liberty to introduce impeachment motions for 3 CECs, and that was tabled in the assembly.
I want you to look at page 90 to 145 of the County Assembly's documents. That should be volume.
Page 92
of volume 2 of the County Assembly's documents, page 90 to 145. Can you take us to the place where you now term as the evidence of the resolution that was arrived at in Mombasa of impeaching, or rather sabotaging, in your own words, the governor's government by impeaching the CECs? Page 90.
Page 90 of volume.
Of the county government's exhibits.
This one exhibit for the governor.
I'll retrieve it shortly. So, as we retrieve that, confirm what transpired in actuation of that resolution.
I do confirm that the petition was brought to the assembly, and it was committed to a joint committee of JLAC, or Justice and Legal Affairs, and also the Labour Committee. And the resolutions or the recommendations of the committee came back that 3 CECs.
Before you proceed, Honorable Senators, I'm referring to volume 4 of the County Assembly's bundle of documents at page 90 to 145. That's volume 4, County Assembly's bundle of documents. But, Mr. Witness, when I look at that petition, it is signed by members of the public. What relationship is there between these members of public or petitioners and members of the County Assembly?
That is on page
90 to 145, volume 4.
Yes, the petition is signed by members of the public, but in that meeting it was agreed that members of the County Assembly look for friendly members of the public who can introduce the motion, or the petition, sorry, and one is a perennial petition in the Assembly. One, Salesio Mutuma, who has signed that petition, has introduced more than, I think, 20 or 30 petitions in that Assembly.
Is it your evidence then that these petitioners were procured by the members of the County Assembly for the purposes of appearing as if it was the public behind the impeachments?
I've stated so.
That is your evidence?
Yes.
How soon after the first impeachment was that petition brought before the Assembly?
In less than a month.
In less than a month. Was there any other resolution by members of the County Assembly to frustrate Her Excellency's government, and if so, in what way?
It was also agreed that we have to sabotage the government through the budget-making process, where members agreed that they will do an itemized budget, despite of the fact that the county government has always prepared an itemized budget, and also do an allocation to their respective wards at that point.
I am having serious problems, Mr. Witness, to fathom that members of the County Assembly would sit and scheme against the executive. Are you sure of your evidence? And do you really want to go on record as a witness of events that really transpired?
That is very true, because members were very bitter, because initially they had been assured that the governor of Meru was going. So they
Who had assured them? You are talking of assurance.
the
Who had
political
assured
class of leaders, especially those at the national level, but come from Meru County.
the Meru County? I want you to say that again for record purposes. Who, and if you're capable, you can mention names of people you think, or you know, not think, were giving that kind of assurance.
I'm saying...
Mr. Speaker, sir, while I do not like objecting, perhaps it would be important, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the witness limits himself to the evidence before the Assembly, so that he does not open Pandora's box and goes on a fishing expedition, mention names that will not be brought before you or before us for cross-examination or re-examination. That line will greatly prejudice our case unless we are assured that the names that shall be put on record will be made available for further re-examination. I am most obliged.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may respond to that issue. It is the governor's case that she's a victim of political witch hunt by the political leadership in Meru. Those facts have been alluded to in the affidavit of the witness. We have annexed video evidence which we will play. It is only fair for counsel to allow me conclude on that issue, unless, of course, I'm touching on a live nerve that he's aware of.
Mr. Speaker, sir, you may allow me in response.
Counsel for the County Assembly.
Yes,
just take your seat. You know, yesterday I gave you some latitude because the counsel for the governor rose on a point of order on the very same issue. But I gave you latitude so that we run this smoothly. Kindly allow the governor to present her case the best way she knows how. Having said that, counsel for the governor, do not veer off so far from what is already before us by bringing very new material, which then will not able the counsel for the County Assembly to respond adequately. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I will be pursuing that line shortly, Mr. Witness. It is your testimony that you had been assured that the governor would indeed go home.
Yes, you see what happened, Honorable Speaker. Immediately after the first impeachment came to this Assembly, came to this Honorable Senate, and all the counts were still unsubstantiated, we went back to Meru, and the President of this country, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, and the Deputy President initiated a reconciliation between the Assembly and the Executive, and the team from the Assembly and the team from the Executive led by the Governor, while the team from the Assembly was led by the Speaker, stayed here at the office of the Deputy President for 3 days. And we resolved all the matters that and brought us to the first impeachment motion. And therefore, when we went back to Meru, that was maybe for, I think, approximately from February, we had a cordial working relationship between the Executive and the Assembly. And that is the time that the Assembly approved budgets for the school feeding program, the one cow, one needy family program, and so many others. But immediately when the political class sat down and felt maybe the governor had gone rogue, they started mobilizing us, members, intimating to us that now it was time to remove the governor from the office. So many members were reluctant because initially they had a good working relationship with the governor. But now we were mobilized along the political party lines, and that is when we were assured that for sure this time the governor of Meru will not come back to Meru as the governor.
Thank you. You have alluded to a meeting that took place at Mombasa and another meeting that was convened in Nanyuki.
Yes.
After 1 month.
Yes.
Kindly explain to us what transpired in Nanyuki, and if you can remember, who attended that meeting, what was the agenda, and what were the resolutions?
just before Christmas, and when news for the famous blogger, one sniper, started circulating that he was missing, the county assembly members were facilitated to go to Nanyuki for committee work. And after finishing the committee work, 59 members who had supported the impeachment process were left for a meeting which was attended by all the MPs from Meru, the former CS for Agriculture, in the exclusion of the senator only. All the other political class was there. And we were urged and asked to remain united so that the cause that we had just lost, we can maybe later, at a later date, and we were told that is by 2024 June, the cause that we, or the fight that we had lost will be brought back, and by that time, for sure, we'll win it.
The cause that you're talking about, what cause is this that you're being urged to continue pursuing?
It was impeaching the governor of Meru.
It was impeaching the governor of Meru. Did at any time the political class within Meru County preach peace, unity, you having a working relationship with the governor of Meru? Did they do that at any moment?
At no point did anybody talk about reconciliation or peace.
How was this meeting facilitated that took place in Nanyuki?
It was facilitated by the assembly through committees. Then later, after the meeting ended, we were given cash of 20,000 each, and we were told it was for Christmas.
Who gave you the 20,000?
The speaker shared it among his members, but of course, it was from the members who had attended that meeting, the political class that attended.
By speaker, you mean which speaker? Of which?
Speaker of the County Assembly of Meru, sorry.
Yes, we are in a Senate which has a speaker.
Certainly, it cannot be me, counsel for the government.
I wanted to have that on record, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you for that clarification. It was the Speaker of County Assembly of Meru.
Yes.
Thank you. How many MCAs were in Nanyuki for the retreat?
For the committee work, all members were there, the 69 members, but for the meeting, it was for the 59 members only who had supported the impeachment process for the governor.
So each of the 59 got 20,000 shillings from the speaker?
Yes.
Might you know where that money had come from?
It wasn't disclosed, but we were told it was a Christmas gift from the political leaders who were there that time. I stated that all the members of National Assembly from Meru were there in the exclusion of the senator only. The women rep was there, and also the former CS Agriculture was in that meeting.
And you are talking about the political leadership across the political divide, not just one political party?
Yes, across the political parties or the political divide.
Were you given any timelines or any specifics on how you would prosecute the resolution that had been arrived at?
Of course, we gave all the plans that we reached at in Mombasa, and then we were told to forge ahead with them. And then for the impeachment of the governor was to be reintroduced on or around June 2024.
You have talked about other ways of frustrating Her Excellency's government. What other ways were agreed upon, if any, on how you would frustrate the governor of Meru?
The main agreement was that one will sabotage the government of Meru through the budget making process from the CADP, the CFSP going onward. And also it was agreed that there were programs that were being undertaken by the county government of Meru that were making the governor very popular on the ground, and therefore they had to be stopped. And that was the school feeding program for ECD learners, and also the one cow, one needy family program that was being carried out by the county government of Meru.
So is it your evidence that indeed members of the county assembly schemed to have the ECD school feeding program scrapped for the sole purpose of sabotaging the governor's governance within the county?
Yes, and indeed it happened in the assembly where the Committee on Agriculture tabled a report, and declared that there was no policy for the school feeding program, and for the one cow, one needy family program, and it was halted. And also the school feeding program was halted by the same assembly.
Mr. Kawira, the members of the County Assembly of Meru are public officers.
Yes.
Paid by taxpayers.
Yes.
How does it make you feel that you are part of a scheme to frustrate the very mwananchi that has elected you to public office, to the extent of scrapping the school feeding of the poor children for political gain? How does it make you feel?
It is very
and what does
unfortunate.
it say about the County Assembly of Meru?
It is very unfortunate and regrettable that public servants can sit down and try to sabotage the same wananchi who have voted for them. And it also shows the level of desperation or the laws that the County Assembly of Meru can go so as to remove from office one Governor Kawira Mwangaza.
Thank you. Yesterday, there was a clip that was played here at the Senate, and there was one gentleman who was very vocal, and the mover of the motion said that that gentleman is not a leader within Meru County. Do you recall that?
Maybe the clip can be played so that I can.
Can we watch VKM 13? VKM 13. We may, Mr. Speaker, sir, we may need an interpreter on standby. Mr. Speaker, sir, with your indulgence, we may need a translator of the Meru language with your guidance.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly usher in the translator.
Thank you. Can we watch VKM 13?
As I said, I want to tell the County Assembly of Meru, we can't wait any longer. We lost in the second impeachment. Give us the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth impeachment. And within a month's time, we want to see the County Assembly of Meru. Give us that. Finally, as I said, that today, when Kiraito Morongi, when Mwashimiwa Munya, when Kadhuri Morongi, when CS Rentori, when Motuma Ntoidhikia, when Ayubu Bundi, when Indani Kere, and the other members of the assembly will sit down and have a cup of tea and they even say nothing, that today the redemption of Meru will be nigh.